Hi Libras, this is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamolen, Psychic Medium. Welcome for my singles, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, to your November 2025 singles reading. I can't believe it. I don't know where this year went, but it's November, so here we are. So I do have some charms, and I have some clues, and I have whatever energy is around you and this reading that Spirit wants you to know at this time. So let's see what the cards are saying. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to anybody that's new. So we'll get some initials, we'll get some charms, lots of cards. We'll see you in the reading here. Let's call in our spirit guides. Let's see what they have for us. Spirit, please share with me for November 2025, what's coming our way. What is going on around us? What energy do you have for us? Any clues, any evidence? I am listening for you now. Let's see what we have. I have gratitude. I like the crown that's coming into me. Just this feeling of I'm a king, I'm a queen. And if you want to attract a king or queen, you've got to hold your head up high. You know, it's the invisible crown that we all wear. Also gratitude. I mean, you know, gratitude is the only thing out there that can knock out fear. And so when you are struggling with something, you stop yourself and you just give yourself a quick gratitude list, and whatever you were thinking about or worrying about is kind of knocked out. So gratitude is a great way to eliminate fear. Spirit, please share with me. I have a nest. Home is where you find rest, renewal, and comfort. A couple things are coming into me. First of all, the nest, a home, okay? But there's three. So the three is possibly one of you have a child, and maybe the child still lives at home. Maybe the child is still with us and will be with us for a little while. So no matter what happens in this connection, there could be three. Some of you, it could be we're moving towards having a child together. We're going to build our own nest. Maybe we'll have one child, three children. But initially it came into me as there could be three people in this connection, but one is a child. So for some of you, Spirit, please share with me. I have a lighthouse. A guiding light is only useful if you are willing to follow it. They're saying follow your heart. Okay. Yeah, the lighthouse, but they're saying follow your heart. If you're one of those people that overthink things, maybe there's something coming up here in this month of November that they're saying, listen to your heart. Okay. What is your heart actually saying this time? And sometimes we overthink things, we project things, and we don't think about the feelings. You know, we have to trust our feelings. Our feelings are a way to communicate. They communicate with us. So you've got to listen to those feelings. Spirit, please share with me. What is it that you need me to know about this connection? I have a Five of Wands. I have a Page of Pentacles. I have an Eight of Pentacles. And I have a Tower. The Five of Wands came into me as I'm starting over, and then the Tower confirmed it. You may meet this person at a new opportunity, a new job. Some of you may be starting something new. You may have somebody new come on board to a place that you work. Maybe you never noticed them before. That was just kind of a side thing, like new opportunity. But coming out of something, walking away from something, this could be you, this could be them. You know, we just ended something. So I feel a combination of two things. You know, it's the person who leaves their significant other or ends a relationship, and at the same time, either changes jobs or, God forbid, lost their job. It was like a boom, boom energy. So it's a feeling of, I have no choice but to pick myself up and to move on and to kind of see, you know, what else is out there. But it's okay. You know, everything happens for a reason. So maybe something was taken away from you to bring in and usher in something new. I have a Temperance. You're going to be in a better place. I have a Four Cups. Somebody's waiting for you. I have a Judgment. That came in as you made some good choices. Even if you don't feel like you're where you're supposed to be, you made some good choices to be here. And I feel like just trust your own judgment. I have an Eight of Cups. If you had to walk away, if you're the one that said, I can't do this anymore, I ended it, you made a good decision. I have a Knight of Swords and I have a King of Swords. I feel like this person coming in, we have a lot to talk about is how it just came in. So you could both have gone through a lot together. You could have very similar stories. They're saying even similar childhoods. That's interesting because it's, you know, the people who somehow catch up with somebody that they went to high school with, but they didn't really know them at the time, or, you know, maybe they dated them in high school and somehow they find each other years and years later. It was a little bit of that energy. It was, we have a lot to talk about. And it was almost a feeling of catching up. Okay. So you may know this person. You might not be in a romantic connection with this person or were in a romantic connection, because I'm not necessarily feeling like a, you know, no contact reunion. But you may be aware of this person. You may have mutual friends. You may have grown up in the same area. You have a lot in common that way. You have a lot of people that you know of. So it's that kind of a feeling like we have something to talk about right from the beginning. Spirit, please share with me, what is it that you have for us today? I have Camera and Memories. Somebody saw a photo of you. I think you've got somebody from your past in some way. It came into me as I always had a crush on you, but they never did anything. Okay. And it's a feeling of they saw a recent photo of you and they either went for it or they reached out, they said hello. So it's a kind of it's exactly what I was just feeling a second ago of, we know of each other. We possibly, maybe we connected years ago, but nothing came of it. And it's more of a feeling of, I saw your photo and I just wanted to say hi. The best scenario I could say is somebody you went to school with, you know, and they just haven't seen you for years and you look great and you posted something and they commented. And the next thing we know, you know, we're kind of chatting, you know. I want to say social media brings us together, you know, this kind of crazy world we live in somehow brings us together. They're saying distance doesn't matter. I have a match. I've reignited something. I feel like somebody always had a crush on you and they never really acted on it at the time. Maybe they couldn't. Maybe you were with somebody. Maybe they were with somebody. But they were always attracted to you. And at this stage in their life, it's probably a, what do I have to lose? You know, I'm going to see if you're available. I'm going to see if you're single. I'm just going to say hi. You know, that's not going to hurt anybody. I have a sunflower reaching out to you here in the autumn. This shining bright. Yeah. I mean, I love sunflowers. So this feeling of attraction, like my eye is on the big sunflower in the garden. And I have a peace sign. That came into me as those kind of like, those were the days, you know, like the hippie days or something. It could be any age, but it's more of like those were, it's reminiscent is how I'm feeling. So I do feel like they come back with these kind of, I don't know, stories, you know, and definitely about somebody that we know. I feel that we have somebody in common that that we know. Spirit, tell me a little bit about this person. I have smokes, vapes, okay, maybe marijuana in a state that's legal. Maybe they smoke marijuana. Maybe that's where the peace is coming in. I have springtime, okay, blooming. Love is blooming. Doesn't matter what season, although if you could be in a spring season right now. I have a Leo energy. I have a Pisces energy. I have a cruise ship. I want to take you away. I want to go away. Maybe you posted a picture of somewhere you traveled and they were jealous. They wanted to go there. They were wondering if you liked it. Look for a ladybug just for good luck. That feels more of a luck kind of sign. I have medical field. Maybe they're a doctor, maybe a nurse, maybe they're connected somehow to the medical field. Yeah, they're saying a big operation, but like a big facility operation. Like I work for a very large network of hospitals, or like the VA. Something that would be like very huge. So that they came into me that way. I have fireworks, and I have to tell you, I think this person saw a photo of you and it triggered some old feelings. It triggered, I always had a crush on you. I can't say it any other way. Like there's something about you that I was always attracted to. I never acted on it. It's the person who always had a crush on you, but never asked you out. And it's like, why didn't you ever ask me out? Because they, thought that you could be with anybody, or they thought that they wouldn't, you wouldn't like them, something like that. Let's get a handful of initials. First initials, last initials. I like a little bit of a blast from the past. I'm going to say it that way. In a good way, not somebody that you don't want back. I have the letter M. I have an A. I have a W, U, N. I have an R. I have a U. I have a K, B, J, the letter E, a Y, an F, an E. Okay, let's get a couple more. The letter U, and I have an F. Okay, so some of you, maybe you spelt your person's name that you're thinking of, or you're ready to meet somebody new. Spirit, tell me more about this connection. What is it that you want us to know? What's important to know? Dreams. Look to your dreams. They hold all the answers that you seek. Little bit of a daydreamy feeling that I wonder if this person could turn into something. I wonder, there could be somebody you're thinking of. Let's turn it around. It could be in reverse. They don't reach out to you, but you reach out to them, and you just happen to find a picture of them. You see that they're single. You see that they're still looking good, and you just want to say hello, just as a friend. So it's more like that, but maybe you're a daydream. Like, I wonder whatever happened to that person. I wonder where they ever went. So somebody's taking initiative. There's a sense of, I don't know if I want to say urgency, but I'm going to say initiative. Okay. That initiative to talk, just to reach out, blast from the past. Just to say hi, like, are you crazy? Oh my God, I haven't talked to you in years. That's the energy. And I always liked this person. I always was, kind of curious about them, but we didn't act. We probably were with other people at the time. Together, find joy in the simple pleasures of just being together. Again, there's this huge, like, what if bubble over my head. It's just this sense of, what if this is the person I was supposed to be with? And I don't know, we went our own ways. We went to different colleges. Somebody moved away from the other, whatever it was. We took different jobs somewhere. So It's what if whatever happened? But there's always that divine timing. It wasn't meant to be at the time. Now maybe it's a better place. A long distance. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the long distance for some reason. I'm not a big advocate for long distance relationships, but in this case, I'm not feeling that it would be a major issue. Somebody is either available to relocate if it worked out. Sure, I would pack my bags and move in a heartbeat. Or that we have enough funds that we could go back and forth very easily. Or maybe we're not that far away from each other, you know, a couple hours drive, an hour drive, something like that. Love knows no distance. It transcends time and space. So, and I'm also going to say distance as far as the time. It doesn't matter how long it's been since I have seen this person. There's a part of me that says we just pick up where we left off as friends. So we start there. And it's just like we never stop talking. So something is going on with me with that. So some of you, maybe there's somebody in your past that you think about and you say, I wonder whatever happened to that person. You know, should I reach out to that person? Should I see what's going on with them? Maybe. Spirit, please share with me. What is it that you need us to know? I have a 9 of Pentacles. I have a 10 of Pentacles. So, yeah, there's a sense of security, doing well for ourselves. We could be at a stage in our lives where, you know, we can take a weekend off and go and visit somebody, take a week off. And a lot of people work from home, Spirit's reminding me. So I can take my business with me. I can go and travel and visit this person or vice versa. And I'll bring my work with me. I have the Moon. I feel like I'm a little hesitant to reach out because I don't know what the response would be, but at the same time, I'm going to go for it. I have a 3 of Cups. I think this person's going to be really excited. If you're the one reaching out to them, I feel like they'll be really excited to hear from you. And there's this incredible sense of we pick up where we left off. So maybe we always felt a little something. You know, maybe there was always something there. And I don't know, you know, people cross our paths at different times and then sometimes they come back. Where we left off is what I wanted to write down. So I think that it's important to know that we're at a different stage in our lives. That I feel like maybe that's part of the reason why it would work now. Not only because maybe we're not in a relationship, but that we've grown. We are a different person. We have learned life lessons. Maybe it wouldn't have worked out the first time. We wouldn't have stayed together. So there's a sense of it coming in when it's supposed to come in, even though it would have been nice years ago, but no, I feel like it's happening, you know, when it's supposed to. So that's okay. You know, Spirit, please share with me some charms. Let's get some charms. Let's see what they want to share with you for some charms today. So let's see if we can get some additional clues. And give some thought to who this might be. Maybe it's you reaching out to somebody you've had on your mind over the years. You just wonder whatever happened to that person. Well, maybe they're supposed to be in your life. I have a Taurus energy. I have a Virgo. I have a Christmas tree. On or around Christmas, maybe we make plans to get together around the holidays, or they always come home, like, and I have a Cupid's arrow. So maybe we start talking to them and they always come home for the holidays. They always come home, you know, to see their family, their sister, their mother. And maybe we make some definite plans. You know, maybe you still live in the area, but they had moved away. So something going on around Christmas, you know, that we could reconnect physically. I have a dragonfly. Yeah, some kind of sign. That also came into me as a loss. I feel like when I talk to this person, it could be, how's your family? And it's sad, but maybe somebody's lost a parent. They lost a grandparent, so it feels like that was probably, I haven't talked to you in a long time. I lost my father, something like that. I have a dragon. Brave. That was brave of you to reach out. And I have a fox. Yeah. So it's a little bit of the fox kind of scoping out the hen house. Like I kind of saw the picture and then I kind of, came back a couple of times before I, DM'd you. And maybe I've been checking out your photos for a couple of days and to see if there's, if I could tell if, what you're up to. So a little bit of that going on with me. That looks like a bunny to me. I have a ballerina and a bunny. So there could be a little girl in this connection. Okay. I have the number 7 days, July, 7 weeks. I have a mushroom. I always love mushrooms and I have a leaf. I'm going to put the mushroom and the leaf together. Almost this feeling of growing from nowhere. This mushroom, it just came out of nowhere. It's a mushroom can grow in the dark. So it's just like, I can't believe this person called me so randomly, or this person, I feel like it's more of a message. I feel like they message you or comment on a post, and then we start to talk, within the social media platform. I have I'm going to put this back with that what if feeling with this hot air balloon, looking at it from above, looking at it from a higher perspective, a future self, just kind of wondering, like, is this fate? Is this spirit brought us together for a reason at this time and juncture in my life? So should I be open to this? Should I be, just see where it goes, see why, maybe something like that. So sometimes we just kind of owe it to following the universe where the universe takes us. And that's kind of how this feels. It might turn into nothing. Maybe it's just a friendly chat with an old friend, and it was nice to catch up with them and it leads to nothing. But, it could really open up something that we're excited about. Spirit, please share with me any other messages that you have for us at this time about this connection. Let me be the warmth you need to survive the cold. So cold winter days, I want to hold you, I want to hug you. Affection. Okay, so those of you that live in cold climates, you're the one that I want to grow old with. That's sweet. You meet somebody later in life and you weren't meant to be together in the first part of your life, but maybe you're meant to be together in the second part of your life, the second, chapter, something like that. So that feels good. And I have I'm reaching out very soon. Yeah, there's definitely this kind of out of nowhere. And I think it's going to be great. It's kind of like, wow, I haven't heard your voice. I haven't seen you. How's your family? How's this? There's some kind of connection, whether it's friends or family, or you used to work together or something like that. My favorite is watching you be you. A little bit of I've been watching you. Okay. I do feel like, not in a creepy way. I feel like I was curious, I was curious, whatever happened to you, where did you go? And it doesn't take that much to find somebody. It doesn't. So I have some different charms today for some timelines. So I thought that I would use those. These are new. And I thought that they're numbers, so they may be some additional clues And I said, what the heck, right? So they're new to my collection of miscellaneous party toys here at Kathy Mamolen Psychic Medium. Okay, so here is my big leaf bowl for the season, little antique bowl. I can remember this bowl being on my mother's coffee table when I was a kid. So it's been in my life for a long time. All right, I'm going to pull these. This has a little bit of numbers. It has, I'm just going to get a handful, and it has a couple of, and they have charms too, but the charms are kind of related to timelines. So that's why I wanted to use them this way. Okay, so I have the number 19, 19th of the month, 19 days, something like that. No, we're heading into November, so keep that in mind. 7 days. There's that 7 again. Maybe 7's really important to some of you. These are nice. They have like a little weight to them. I have the number 28. I have a Christmas tree on or around Christmas. I'm coming home for the holidays. I definitely want to see you. Maybe we're talking, we are connecting. I have 11, November 21st. Maybe I'm coming home for Thanksgiving, even better. I have a birthday. Now, maybe they noticed it was your birthday. Maybe it was a big birthday on your social media. Maybe you posted, I can't believe I'm 25. No, I don't know how old you are. But it was a big birthday. So they wished you a happy birthday, or, they saw that. Or on or around a birthday. So it could be their birthday. It could be their birthday. So this feeling of, I don't know, the holidays is really how it's coming into me today, is more the holidays. So I'm definitely gonna take that. Let's just grab a couple of final messages and see what they want to say for some feelings. Spirit, what is it that you need me to know for feelings? Where is this connection headed? What is it that you want me to know? What will be the overall energy in this connection for November? I'm really attracted to you. I've always had a crush on you, is what they said. I do see a future with you. I want to grow old with you. Somebody wants to grow old. I feel like I've known you forever. You probably have. You probably have a history together somehow. Could have a soulmate history as well. I hold back because I don't want to be hurt. Okay, maybe I haven't reached out for a long time because I wasn't ready, or I didn't know where you were. I didn't know what you were doing in your life. I didn't want to interrupt your life, they're saying. I was looking for you, and now I found you. I mean, that could be on a spiritual level, like I was looking for you as my soulmate, now I found you. Or I physically was looking for you, and I found you, and hello, So I'm going to go with that. I'm really feeling some kind of blast from the past coming in. And I don't feel like you were in a relationship with this person. So it's not a person you were already in a relationship with again. So I'm going to say here, fate, destiny, stars aligning is our story. It's true. Everything happens in divine timing. And sometimes people are put on our path, but we're not ready for them at that time. And then they're put on our path at a different time in our life. And you go, I can't believe our paths have crossed twice. And, is it a coincidence or is it fate? It always unfolds exactly how it's supposed to. So I really like this whole feeling. And if there's somebody in your background that you still wonder whatever happened to that person, maybe you do a Google search and see if you can find them this November. So let's put this out. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. I want to thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that like, subscribe, ring the notification bell. Thank you for your kind words always. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please go to my website, kathymamolenspsychicmedium.com. Also, check out my other 2 channels, my Pick a Card channel, my Twin Flame Soulmate channel, and I'll put the links in the description. I hope you have a great November, and we'll see you again in another love reading real soon.